Hello, and welcome to your first Thursday night edition of the Spring Term Beaver News. I'm Conrad Cartmell.
And I'm Delgado. We're glad you could join us this evening. ASOSU elections are going on now. On tonight's show, we go in depth with each candidate running for president and vice president. This year's ASOSU election has had lots of excitement leading one candidate to drop out before the race even began, leaving just 4 candidates left in the race.
Candidate Brett Barlow saw some controversy with an article released in the Daily Barometer stating that Barlow admitted to using homophobic slurs via Facebook a few years prior. Barlow is still in the race, but declined to have his interview aired, saying, quote, "We did not pull out of the race, just stopped campaigning."
The remaining 3 candidates' interviews, however, will be aired tonight. First being President-Vice President candidate Sanders Niemer. Take a look.
What's the point of government? It's to represent your constituent.
Help students out and help to shape OSU and bring it into the next couple of years.
And we really want to bring back the student voice to ASOSU.
I envision it being a transitory year, something where we bring change.
And in bringing these 25 student leaders all together to put their voices into our unified platform, we're actually representing someone other than ourselves.
To make sure that all of the programs that we oversee and the employees that are involved come out better at the end of the year than they have in years previous. We are the most qualified. We are able to keep our promises.
And that was candidate Sanders Niemer. Next up, we have an interview with candidate Sarman Williamson.
You know, it all starts with us just going out and talking to people, and understanding the issues that are actually affecting them here on this campus.
But we've really been out trying to make a conscious effort to meet students and learn more about the issues that they're facing. Because I think that's really what we're trying to encompass, is the issues that every student is facing, not just the ones that we included in our platform.
Campaigns aren't just about the candidates, you know, they're about the issues.
Brian and I have kind of said that there's 411 sponsored student organizations out in this community, and we really want to get out and meet every one of them.
When students feel like they have a vested interest in their student government, they're going to be more likely to want to get involved, and they're going to feel like they're being represented.
Everybody's ASOSU, and everybody should be involved in the organization.
Come talk to us in the quad, most importantly, or anywhere you see us on campus, because in reality, we really just want to hear from you.
So they should vote for us because Brian and I are committed to fighting for students.
And that was from candidate Sarman Williamson. Finally, we have candidates Dubois Morrison.
We really had to think to ourselves, like, what is it that we can do for the students on a larger scale? Because this is your OSU, and you decide what that's going to look like and how that's going to be at the end of the day. We've been working with a variety of student organizations. We've been all over campus. Really what separates us is our love for student organizations and groups that make up the school. We really put ourselves out there. We really want to bring ASOSU outside of its shell and back to the students. Hashtag building a better OSU. All politics, all groups, all friends aside, it's really who's really going to represent you better.
ASOSU elections are going on now and involve much more than just voting for president and vice president. For more information on the candidates and to vote for your student government, students can visit asosu.oregonstate.edu/elections. Remember that elections are different this year, and there will only be one election week as opposed to a primary and a secondary seen in years past.
Coming up after the break, Max Bettendorf will take you on an in-depth tour of KBVR to tell you what's going on within our station. Stay tuned. Ever wonder what goes on behind the scenes here at KBVR? Max Bettendorf gives you a tour of what it looks like to work in student media.
Hello and welcome to my new segment where I recap everything that's happened here on KBVR Studios this week. From gaming on the couch to headbanging local music, this is the recap. I'm standing here in front of the great KBVR TV studios, where I'm going to give you, the viewers, a once-in-a-lifetime tour. Let's go check it out. Here in Studio A, we can see the crew is setting up for their next installment of Split Screen, KBVR TV's Wednesday night video gaming show. Yesterday on Split Screen, the gang played Xbox 360. You can check that one out on youtube.com/KBVR26.
What are you?
This is our Studio B. Not quite as good as Studio A, but better than C or D if we had those. Here in Studio B, it gives me a sudden urge to tell you that Beaver Sports Show is coming back tonight with everything sports here in Corvallis. So you better get ready for that. Now let's go check out the editing bay. Let's see what we can find up there. Wait, before we go, I'd just like to say that this week on Glimpses, our team is making a mockumentary of all their short films behind the scenes of what they do at Glimpses. So check that out for yourself come week 5. Let's keep going. This is our edit bay, where we edit everything. And would you look at that? There's editors in their natural habitat. Let's try not to startle them while I tell you that Locals Live, or should I say Locals Post Now, is coming out with their next show tomorrow. So you better catch that and see this city's best bands. And speaking of music, here is Riley, the producer of In the Pines, a brand new show about music journalism, premiering next Thursday. Oh shoot, they're on to us. We should get out of here. This week on How We Did It, the crew films a realistic lightsaber fight and explains just how they did it. Oh, how we did it. Oh, I get it. Check that out for yourself online. Well, that's all I have for you today in this segment of KBVR's Recap. I'm gonna send it back over to the studio. Thanks, Conrad and Dana.
Thank you, Max. Next up on the Beaver News, get a peek inside the Red Fox Cafe from reporter Anna Singer.
So you can't say.
The brew station may have closed down last year, but a new business is breathing life into the location. We sent reporter Anna Singer to get the story.
After the brew station unexpectedly closed, students were pretty disappointed that they couldn't come and grab a bite to eat and a beer after class. But thanks to restaurant owner Cloud Davidson, who opened up this new Red Fox Cafe, students are able to get the same satisfaction as they did out at the brew station. There's not a lot of things better than being able to grab a beer and some food after a long day of classes and work, which is why Cloud Davidson, who is the owner of Cloud and Kelly's and Downward Dog, decided it would be the perfect opportunity to open up the Red Fox Cafe on Monroe.
Well, I have 2 places downtown, and I was interested in doing a third. I kind of had an itch I wanted to scratch. With the growth at OSU over the past couple years, it just seemed like a really natural sort of, next step.
Although the Red Fox Cafe focuses on serving a great breakfast menu, good appetizers, and refreshing drinks, it most importantly provides a wonderful, relaxed indoor and outdoor setting right on campus for students to come and meet with their friends.
When we realized that the brew station closed down last year, it was pretty disappointing because we used to come here all the time after class and just hang out on the patio during spring in the sun, but now we're excited that it's reopened. A lot of people are already here, so it's fun.
I just got out of psychology actually with a bunch of my friends, and we decided to come here, and they've done a really good job of making the brew station come alive again a little bit. Different name, same concept, so it's really good. It's awesome. 2 thumbs up for sure.
So why has this cafe been so popular since opening?
I guess I'm a big believer in there's an element of not only student life but like a city life. I think a offering of nightlife or food and drink or atmosphere is, in my opinion, obviously, it's like an essential part of a lively community. So I think, specifically with the student population, I think it's important to have, various offerings down the strip. Gosh, I think namely it's a house, right? And all, most other places that have a restaurant or bar in them are like a commercial space. So I think that's a really unique part of it. And obviously the epic patio, like name another place with the ground floor, south exposure, large patio like that. It's not. I think that's probably the other genuine, probably most noticeable part of the business. So in the summertime. So the Wednesday night when we first opened, for real, just like the whole patio filled up, and it was like you kind of got to see it all sort of in motion. I was super happy about the effect because like it's really what I wanted, So that was the intent, and it was like seeing it live was really special, I guess. So. Yeah.
This has been Anna Singer reporting with the Beaver News.
Because of the popularity of the Red Fox Cafe, we went out in the quad to ask students what kind of restaurant they would want to start near campus. Red Fox Cafe just took over the Brew Station location. If you were a restaurant owner here in Corvallis, what kind of restaurant do you think you would start?
Definitely a brewery. I'm about to turn 21, so I'm excited to see what my options are for a Corvallis student and the campus here and be able to experience the atmosphere of beer.
I would do something very similar to what they're doing. I'm a huge fan of chicken wings and tacos, so I'd probably do a chicken wing taco place, but also with the full bar and beer selection that's similar like they have too.
A Taco Bell.
A Taco Bell on campus?
Yeah.
I would serve taco food like Taco Bell.
I would open not chain Mexican food, so some Mexican food that there isn't like 30 of.
I'd probably do the same because honestly I like Mexican food just about as much as he does, and there's a few, but there needs to be more.
The old location of the Brew Station has just been replaced by the Red Fox Cafe. If you were going to start a restaurant near campus, what would you serve?
Soft pretzels, really good french fries, probably just lots of carbs and a lot of junk food.
I would probably serve like barbecue food.
Probably a burger joint. There's nothing better than a classic cheeseburger.
I would serve sushi because that's my favorite food, and there's no sushi places that are near campus.
It's hard because there's already a really diverse selection around OSU.
Well, I was already hearing rumors before that Voodoo Donuts was supposed to, were like one of the first ones to turn in an application for the place. So that's what I was hoping for, but if I was a business owner or whatever, I would probably start a Voodoo because that's what everybody loves in Eugene and Portland and stuff.
If you want to give us your opinion about what you think the OSU campus needs more of, let us know on Twitter or Facebook so we can hear what you have to say. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for new developments in technology on campus, as well as updates on OSU athletics.
We'll be right back after the break. Have you seen the newest feature of the Valley Library? Julia Cameron headed out to show us the exciting new tech that's on display at the help desk.
OSU's library has recently purchased a 3D printer, and it might just be the coolest thing on campus that anyone can use.
The library started looking at 3D printers because we heard that other libraries were doing that, and we also wanted to know if there was an idea of having a makerspace on campus. And so we were kind of investigating makerspace ideas in libraries. And so we started talking to other people on campus to find out what kinds of things they had. We didn't want to replicate the craft center or any of the workshops or other labs on campus. We knew we didn't need to have a wood shop in the library. But so one of the things we thought would be cool to have in the library was a 3D printer, because there's lots of 3D printers on campus, but there aren't too many that are out in public spaces where people can see them. And so we wanted people to kind of have access to this technology and for students to be able to send files and get things printed and kind of see how this 3D printing thing worked, just to kind of access something brand new technology that, like, some people still think it sounds like science fiction. Somebody came by the desk today and said, "Wow, I thought this was just science fiction. Isn't this cool?"
Over the summer, the library got a 3D printer. We needed some stuff to test it with. I was available, so Dave, one of the guys working on the machine, asked me to make some 3D models. I made a couple glasses, the new OS logo. I'm currently working on a Benny head, and I just downloaded Blender and started 3D modeling.
The 3D printer that we bought was about $2,200, which is pretty cheap in the scheme of things, because It used to be, of course, that 3D printers or rapid prototyping machines would cost $400,000 and only be used in industry. But now, because of certain things in the market, the patents have changed and the technology's changed a little bit. There's these 3D printers that can sit on desktops. And that was another thing that attracted the library to getting it, because we didn't want to have to take up too much space. And a 3D printer that's sitting on a desktop is pretty easy to have and move around if we need to.
Having the 3D model in public for everyone to see has definitely boosted the popularity of 3D modeling. I know a lot of people have been new to 3D modeling in general. They've never been able to see one of these because they're generally exclusive to, big engineering laboratories. But being able to walk into the library, see this magnificent black box that's printing, Eiffel Towers, Darth Vader heads, an elephant that looked really cool, just really blows people's minds away. And when they realize that this is a technology that, exists in this day and age, they'll, it really makes you rethink what's possible with the tools we have right now and where we're going.
I think that it represents a new way of manufacturing, and that people are going to need to learn about this new way of manufacturing things and making things.
Being able to have access to something as simple as go into a program and make a shape, it'll print it, and now you have a real life shape that you can take away.
This is Julia Cameron reporting for KBVR.
If you want to, you can actually head down to the Valley Library and use the printer yourself. Be sure to check it out.
Last week's Civil War softball game.
The Beavers squared off against rival U of O this weekend in the Civil War softball game. They put up a strong fight, but ultimately came up short in all 3 games.
It was a sellout weekend as every single game was packed, so much so that even the outfield was full of fans. In the first game, the Beavers had the 2-1 lead going into the 5th inning before the Ducks batted in 5 runs. The Beavers quickly responded in the bottom of the 6th with 3 runs to cut the lead to 1, but the Ducks then batted in 4 runs to seal the 10-5 victory in the 7th inning. Corey Nishitomi led the way for the Beavers with 2 RBIs on 4 at-bats, while CJ Chirichingo also had 2 RBIs on 3 at-bats. Sunday, the Beavers started out strong against the Ducks. Danny Gilmore started off the first inning by hitting a deep home run, and Melanie Davinsky threw 2 strikeouts, and the Beavers led 1-0 for the first 2 innings. But it was the Ducks who went on a run in the 3rd inning, scoring 7 runs in a matter of minutes. The Beavers never recovered and ended up losing 10-2. Sunday was a tough game for Beaver Nation, as the Ducks won by a final score of 18-0, including 11 runs in the opening inning. Amanda Najdek threw 9 strikeouts, and Danny Gilmore had 1 hit for the Beavers.
The Beavers now stand at 13-23 overall, and are 3-10 in Pac-12 play. Their next home games are against Washington, April 25th, 26th, and 27th. I'm Marvin Lewis. Thank you for watching this edition of Beaver News Sports. We'll see you next week.
The softball team is playing a series at UCLA this weekend that started tonight at 7 o'clock.
Here in Corvallis, we all know that staying in the loop about the weather is of the utmost importance. Here to tell us what to look forward to over the weekend is Conrad Greer.
It's Conrad and Dana. Hey everyone, I'm Conrad Greer, and this is your weekend weather forecast. Corvallis is going to be partially cloudy with increasing chances of rain as the weekend moves on. Temperatures going to range from the low to high 60s, but put your flip-flops away and put your pants back on because it's going to get a little chilly with the rain. For those planning on traveling this weekend, KBVR has highlighted some of your more popular destination travels. In Newport and along the central Oregon coastline, the rainfall is going to be a little larger than the valley, with temperatures sticking to the 50s. Bring a strong windbreaker to stay warm. Up north in the Portland metro area, weekend forecasts are showing chances of rain as the days go on, with temperatures ranging in the mid-60s. Moving south to the Central Valley, Salem will have similar values as Portland. Across the Cascades, Bend this weekend will be sunny with temperatures sticking to the mid-60s. Nighttime temperatures will drop to the low 30s, so pack a warm jacket if you intend on being out after dark. Down south in the Umpqua Valley, Roseburg and her surrounding areas will receive light chances of rain, breaking into partially sunny skies with highs reaching mid to high 60s. Back in Corvallis, weekday temperatures for week 4 will be moving into the low 60s with a continuation of clouds and chances of rain. And that's it for your KBVR weekend weather forecast. Keeping it sunny in here, I'm Conrad Greer. Back to you in the studio.
And that was weather. Hopefully we'll get some sun this weekend. After the break, we'll have Stephanie Paul and Madeline Lee talk to us about Greek life. Now, a large portion of the OSU student body is involved with Greek life, but for the students that aren't, Madeline Lee and Stephanie Paul are here to show you what it's like.
About 14% of Oregon State's population consist of Greek members. We walked down Greek Road today and asked fraternity and sorority members what being Greek means to them.
Greek life means to me a stronger sense of community. It takes a large university and transforms it into a smaller cohort of people. In that smaller cohort and in that community, it seems like these individuals are put under a microscope, which means they're held to a higher standard. You have to uphold certain values and a certain sense of one on this campus, and that's what Greek life means to me.
To me, Greek means family and sisters and brothers, and no matter where you go, if you have that connection of a sorority or fraternity, you're always going to have that connection with someone. If I go to a different state and they say they're Kappa Delta, then we're automatically going to have that connection, even if we've never met before. So it's really just an extended family.
So Greek life to me is just a community where we really just get involved in each other's interests and hobbies. It's a fallback. If you have a problem, you have somewhere to go and someone to go to.
I went Greek because I wanted to become part of an organization that would help me with school, networking, and later getting a job in life.
I think Greek life has been a positive experience in my life because it's opened up so much opportunity, and I've been able to meet so many new people and try a bunch of new things that I never would have done on my own.
Greek life has been a positive experience for me because it's enabled me to be able to meet people from tons of different backgrounds, and it's something we just all have in common. Like, we could be from all over the country or from a different country even.
Through my time at Oregon State, Greek life has definitely brought a lot of opportunities for me. I've not only gotten to know a lot of the girls from my house and done different volunteering opportunities with them, but I've also met other Greek life members and seen their passion and what they want to do in the future, and just they've inspired me to strive for my goals as well because I see them so passionate about what they want to do.
The biggest misconception people have about Greek life is that we're just simply a drinking club, and that gets in trouble occasionally. People, they don't report on how Greek life at Oregon State raises over $100,000 every year for a variety of philanthropies. They don't report on the thousands of community service hours we do. They don't report on the membership development we provide our membership to be great people and great members of society after college. I wish those were the things that are highlighted so that more people could experience what Greek life is and not be scared away when they come to college because they have that Animal House image of what Greek life is.
I believe the biggest misconception is that you're paying for your friends. The thing that I learned is you meet and become friends with everybody before you even get close to paying for anything, and you just become friends, and sooner or later you mostly become family.
I think the biggest misconception about Greek life is that we're all like stuck up and really rich and snobby, because that's not true. We have people from all sorts of different socioeconomic statuses, like myself as an example. And it's a lot, we're all normal, I think. We're all students you see around campus. Just because we wear letters doesn't mean that we're necessarily special or different. It just means that there's something else that we represent that brings more life to campus.
After speaking with people in Greek life, we found that being Greek means building networks and bettering yourself within the community. This has been Madeline Lee and Stephanie Paul for KBVR News.
Thank you, Stephanie and Madeline, for giving us some insight into what Greek life really looks like.
So we'd like to remind all of you that ASOSU elections do end this Friday, and that you should definitely get out and vote for the candidates that represent your views.
Yep, just one more day left, and friendly reminder that all their videos are posted on our Facebook and YouTube page, so if you want to watch any of them again or show your friends, make sure you get on there and check them out before tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure. Really important to get out there and vote.
One more day.
Well, that's all the time we have for tonight. I'm Conrad Cartmell.
And I'm Dana Delgado. Be sure to like us on Facebook, watch us on YouTube, and follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Beaver News. Thanks, and have a great night.
you.